Here we go again. It is peak Star Citizen drama. Flight blades are in the store. People are rightly mad. Is this whole scenario down to a new chief marketing officer at CIG? Are CIG really this desperate for money? Back in January, CIG's CMO left the company. We don't know if this was due to CIG's focus on moving development to the UK, or if they thought, well, maybe we just need somebody who's going to make us more money. What does a CMO do? Well, a quick Google tells us that a chief marketing officer is the top marketing executive in a company, responsible for developing and implementing marketing strategies to achieve business goals, including driving revenue growth, that could be it, and building brand awareness. They work at a board level, often reporting directly to the CEO, and oversee all aspects of the company's marketing efforts. Now, it's not quite the same thing, but this situation is a bit like when Rich Tyra took over from Todd Papy as the director of the Persistent Universe. We've seen a shift in direction, new priorities, changes from past decisions, a new vision for the game. And it looks as though that's what's happening with the marketing. It looks from the outside like a new sheriff is in town and they want to make some changes. And we're going to see CIG try some new things. The whole project is a gold mine. People have shown over the last 12 years that they'll throw money at this thing. So potentially a new CMO has come in and thought, wow, there's so much opportunity for even more monetization. We could sell this, we could sell that. But whoever has ultimately made this decision to flog stat changes for ships for fairly large amounts of money, they just don't seem to understand the community. You can sell as many cosmetics as you like. Ship paints, weapon skins, sell us tattoos if you really want. But game-altering flight blades, it should just be nowhere near the store. These should be sold in stores in the game. Rare versions with special stat combinations, maybe they should be lootable or even available from Wicklow. The fact that these will be available in-game in a few months, it just amplifies how ridiculous this whole thing is. Why would anyone spend $20 now for something as insignificant as stat changes to a flight model that is constantly changing anyway, when they could just get all this for free in a few months? People often talk about Star Citizen being a scam, and on the whole it's not, but this actually is borderline a scam. It's a blatant cash grab, and it just looks and feels absolutely awful. Are CIG this desperate for money? Is the whole project at genuine risk of financial ruin, or is this just a bad marketing call? Well, we've got no real way to know. But I think this was an opportunity that CIG marketing just wanted to try out. If they can convince players to spend real money on ship components, well, CIG has a whole new revenue stream that it can milk. And I think that CIG was actually pretty aware that this was going to be received really badly. I can't believe that in the meeting, nobody was in the room and just said, don't you think the backers will hate this? I just don't believe that. And so I don't think it's a coincidence that the Idris has released at the same time. It's a genuinely really positive moment for the game. I don't really care about ships, but walking around and fighting the Polaris with a load of other Idrises, Idri, was pretty awe-inspiring. So here's how it probably went. Here's something you've been wanting for years. Oh, and by the way, we're going to crank up the pledge store a few more notches. It's a classic case of attempting to bury bad news. And this has me slightly worried. If they knew it was going to be controversial, which I think they did, and they still launched it anyway, well, I don't know what that says about where things will go in the future. So it looks to me as though the marketing team is under new leadership and wanting to maximize profit. And to a certain extent, that's their job. We want CIG to make money and succeed. But there is a level of responsibility on people like Chris Roberts, Rich Tyra, all the guys right at the top, to actually protect the project from smacking itself in the face like this. And there's also a responsibility to protect the actual game and the gameplay. Selling progression in the store, it just kills progression in the game. Looting a rare flight blade in a box in a contested zone or something should feel like a real moment. But as so often with this whole project, money has been prioritized over gameplay. And so where does this all lead? Where will CIG go from here? Now, there are a lot of angry people on Spectrum. There always is, but there's more than normal. Morphologist sums up my concerns pretty well about the future. So if we're now separating out new features into sellable website commodities, where does this go next? Exclusive jump gate keys to Nix 3 months early, special exclusive mission coordinate keys. This is a step too far. And this Reddit post is a very funny look at what CIG might possibly consider if they keep going down this road. Will they start selling special ship shields? Will they sell personal shields for an edge in FPS combat? Ammo that does more damage? Will they sell certain base building modules on the store exclusively? In a universe simulator, there is almost an unlimited amount of things they could sell. But the answer has always been cosmetics. Anything that alters game balance should just be attainable in the game, not in the store. Now, the community has been very forgiving up until this point in development. CIG has messed up many times in the past, but goodwill isn't unlimited. It is possible for the company to mess up so badly that a large number of people just close their wallets and walk away. Now, I don't think that this is the moment where the whole thing falls apart. But the fear is that if they keep going down this rabbit hole, if they continue to push more and more monetization strategies like this down our throats, well, things could slowly crumble. There have been signs over the last few years that CIG was starting to try more and more desperate tactics out. Selling the F7A as a reward for completing in-game content wasn't great. The whole Atlas thing was very questionable, but this takes things to a completely new level. The game has a terrible reputation out in the real world, but inside the bubble, the people who play the game, the community, has, on the whole, been very much rooting for CIG and very, very generously funding the project along the way. CIG cannot risk throwing that all away. As of right now, CIG hasn't commented on the pretty intense community backlash, but I wouldn't be shocked if Xylo posted something on Spectrum over the next few days. But ultimately, these blades, they have to be removed from the pledge store. CIG has pulled off something like this before when they sold access to CitizenCon, the live stream in 2018. The backlash again was huge, everybody hated it, and they changed the decision. Hopefully, like then, they'll listen to the community. But I have a feeling that the marketing team will continue to experiment with new, icky strategies as we go forward. Now, I just want to finish off with this video from 2016, which shows you how far CIG in some ways have fallen.
That's right, every ship and item will be available to earn or collect in the finished game. Many backers provide extra support for development with concept ships, Voyager Direct items, and more, but all of these are entirely optional, and none of them will ever let players pay to win.
Observe. Developer, come here.
Could you whip me up some sort of amazing super ship that will let me win every dogfight? I can make it worth your while.
No, thank you.
What about $2 or $20?
No.
There you have it.
Unfortunately, this essence of trying to do the right thing seems to be long gone. Let me know what you think.